Now that you should feel more comfortable using her movement and running basic offense, this guide will focus more on getting a better understanding of her offense, showing off more safe jumps and ways to mix on Oki, and some combo optimizations. Since air HCL is plus and has less recovery, doing it out of air dashes, forwards, and backwards can be pretty strong. However, it is difficult to get the timing for it to be low enough that it would hit standard character standing. When poking with S and H normals, start to get into the habit of doing hit stop OSs of 236S and either 236H or 214S. Doing this will have 236S come out on normal hit, and whichever you input second come out on counter hit. An extension from the Essentials section is to do note fast PRC into S stroke or H stroke to turn a negative approach positive, letting you go for a mix-up. After a burst, set up a note and try to catch the jumpers with air HCL. Megalo can be used situationally against zoners since you're invul after the command grab whips. An extra defensive tip is super PRC. Her super startup is slow enough that it lets you PRC cancel it, but the timing is tight. If you do get the timing, then it can be very rewarding. When doing corner pressure and you get spaced, use 5P and 6P into HCL, then OTG with 6H for a good punish. HCL also works well against people jumping in the corner. When getting spaced out with FD, canceling into note to catch them jumping, forcing them to block for being patient, or forcing your way back in with note PRC stroke are all good options. Her dash JP can hit 3 times if they stand block even just the first one, but you'll only get 2 if you immediately cancel the dash into JP. Dash JP also sets up tick throws, but you need to walk for it to reach. If you expect them to be crouch blocking, the JP whiff into throw really catches people off guard. If you do JP twice into the throw input, then you'll get the double overhead on block and whiff JP into throw if they duck. And whiff JP into 2K can be a good fake up. 6H is a very useful tool, but its major downside is being easily IBable, leaving you -8 and close. Here's me IBing it 5 times in a row just to show that the timing is definitely learnable. Even if you try to combat it by cancelling 6H into S-stroke or MLA, S-stroke gets blocked just fine when trying to IB, and you can react to MLA with 6P, even if it is difficult to both IB and look for MLA. But if you know they're trying to IB to punish, you can do S-stroke to frame trap and get a knockdown. Or do Wild Assault to get a nice combo or plus frames. MLA can work if they're expecting to do 2K to punish, but it is still reactable if they don't immediately press. When you have meter, you don't really have to worry about IBs or mashing at all. S-stroke is minus enough to be punishable, but if spaced, you can do another stroke to go under some pokes like 2Ps. When doing an overhead, cancelling into HCL leaves you plus while advancing, but the major flaw is if they crouch, you're very negative. It can be useful against FDs since you keep the momentum, so it's okay to use, just be careful about it. When going for unsafe dash JS resets, it can be better to do a dash block into delayed JS to reset while blocking mash attempts. If you do a deep dash, air FD into JK can be done to make you more plus while staying closer against FD, but I find this pretty difficult to time consistently. I mentioned before reacting to JD being blocked or hitting, but now is when you should really start focusing on reacting. Even if you just buffer a quarter circle and react by pressing K when they block and H when they get hit, it's something worth practicing. Here's me reacting to H dive on hit and jump back on block on reaction against the bot set to block random. Doing air super after an air normal can be used to bait and punish YRC. This works much better in the corner since it'll wall break into a hard knockdown. From dash JS into dash BRC, do JP to set up a ton of plus frames, letting you true string into dash JS and even another dash double JP. If they get hit by the initial JP, then you're still able to do this whole sequence, but it's not optimal. Instead, react with 6H for a nice combo near the corner. And if they got hit by the initial JS, just go right into K dive. From the low option, 2D into MLA true strings to reset a turn and give a combo on hit. And you can always add in fake stuff like a whiff JH into 2K or throw. This also works from /IED BRC, but you need to replace the initial JP with JK since they aren't forced to stand like they are from JS. But just like before, you can go for double 2Ks, 4 overheads, or anything in between. And if they're scared of the real stuff, mixing in fake stuff puts even more fear of them. This is great since you can set it up from Wild Assault. If you're worried about being spaced out too far for close slash, then just jump canceling into IED BRC directly is a good way to set up mix-ups. Wild Assault leaves you even more plus, so you could do BRC into JH to be over plus 30, making it easy to do IED with JH mix-ups. But when you're decently close, I think it's generally better to do close slash first to make it easier to hit confirm, but also to build a little more risk. The only downside to the IED setup is that 2D into MLA won't combo anymore since you start higher up in the BRC. This can be done from 5K IED BRC too, but there will always be a gap that only 4 framers can clash with. Instead, 5K-PRC sets up a ton of plus frames, giving one high-low with enough frames to catch mashing on the second one. After MLA, if you want to force a turn, air-BRC into JS makes you very plus. And in the corner, if they airblock MLA, do K-dive to be slightly plus and choke them up. One of the most important things to learn is S-dive fast RC. Do fast RC into JH to fall fast and set up a mix-up. If you believe they'll block it, you can go right into a JK or JS, which can be nice when pairing with a fast cancel into low, but it'll be fuzzy guardable. But really pay attention to whether they get hit or not so you can react with 6H to combo on hit. It's definitely doable, but practice it. When doing dash JS but you're a bit spaced, 6P is better to default into, both to frame trap and combo it. For the combo, you'll either get S-stroke or wild assault. If you have the resources, this turns a distant poke into a very strong mix-up situation. Something sneaky is to cancel S-stroke into PRC throw. From 6H, you'll need more momentum, so H-stroke works better. The only major counterplay to Nodoki is deflect shield. It'll push you too far back for offense unless you committed to a long dash, but if you read it, you can cancel the first note into a second one that will punish the deflect shield. From 2K6H or JS6H into MLA, do H-dive, then hop into air dash for a safe jump. This is really nice to have for mid-screen combos, but it won't work from JS 2K6H. If you skip the H-dive and just air dash, it leaves you +7, perfect for a meaty. If you hold down during the air dash, you'll land faster and be +15. From this, you are just a couple of frames away from being a true safe jump, but it's only 2 frames off from being a meaty, so other mashing won't work. And mixing up regular air dash into delayed JD and just going right into lows can lead to some nice mix-ups for mid-screen OP. For something completely different, whiff K-dive into MLA. It won't be meaty, but needs a quick button or 6P to beat it. The bonus to this is that you're so far away they may think they can just backdash to create space or avoid whatever option you would do, but this heavily punishes backdash. It's a little gimmicky since it's mashable, but if they don't, you still get plenty of plus frames. Now that you may be doing air HCL in neutral, in the mid-range, mid to deep dash JH can safe jump. When farther away, dash into air dash delay HCL can let you threaten from pretty far away. This works even from backwards moving HCLs. It won't be meaty, but if they decide to block on wake up, it's better than nothing. If you react to them getting hit, whiffing MLA is a decent way to close the distance, but may be more or less useful at different spacings. From knockdowns like throw where you're close and very plus, you can set up a meaty HCL with a dash into air dash and to delay HCL. This can easily leave you double digits plus, the lower it hits, the better. The main downside is that if they crouch block, it'll be pretty bad, but they should be defaulting to blocking overhead with the threat of JS. But generally from throw, dash whiff JD into dash JS is the standard safe jump. Another setup is jump whiff JP into air dash JS. Another one that I think is just worse but still viable is whiff 5P with 5K dash JS. It's more strict on timing and leaves you spaced, but can throw people off using the frame kills. OTGing with TKS dive gives a quick dash JS safe jump and more corner carry. A visually tricky one is whiff H stroke that leaves you +8, giving an extra meaty close slash, but unfortunately can't punish backdash directly. From air to airs into H dive, comboing into double HCL can set up safe jumps with mid dashes. In the corner, there are lots of auto-time safe jump setups using OTG. First off is OTG close slash dash cancel into JH. Feel free to mash H like 4 times just to get it out. Next is OTG dash JS into jump air dash JS. Doing dash JS into JD whiff sets up a meaty 2K. Another is OTG close slash jump cancel into falling JH. This one leaves you high up with an air option to air dash cancel for more mix-ups with some extra risk. My personal favorite is OTG S stroke into dash JS. It's simple and consistent. Lastly, similar to mid-screen, OTG TKS dive into dash JS. I wasn't sure whether to put this section in pressure or Oki, but this part's about post S stroke hit situation. To frame trap, 2S is the better option. If you think they'll try to up back, 2D is the go-to since it reaches for the meaty and will knock down. Dash JS is the unsafe option, which should be used once you know they won't press, but if they air block it by up backing, you'll be able to force a mix-up. 2S reaches even if they up back, but far slash's hitbox comes out too slow for it to be useful. And don't do 2S into S stroke after you hit them with S stroke since the second one will whiff. When whiff punishing or controlling space with 5H, it does have enough pop-up to hit confirm with MLA. After hitting air HCL near the corner, pick up with 6H for the wall splat. In the corner, optimize by doing 6H into delayed HCL into dash HCL moving forward. This still lets you pick up with 6H. For just a tiny bit less damage a meter, just do the first HCL, then 6H into MLA. I find this one way more consistent. Another slightly less optimal route is doing 6H right into MLA then HCL. This one is really easy for slightly less damage, but the same meter build as the first route. These same routes work from -JS and will be a very common starter. It's more optimal to go right into 6H, but it's fine to autopilot into 2K. If you wall splat with MLA, it keeps you really close to easily get super. If you splat with HCL, you may need to dash and do the air super. When anti-airing in the corner with HCL, dash JS into air HCL OTGs and sets up another OTG with 6H. Another way to pick up from it is MLA, which is also nice since it'll make you plus on block. From TKH dive, if you're near the corner, hop JS HCL leaves you close enough to pick up like before. Unfortunately, many of Eno's combo tools are not burst safe. HCL, S and H stroke, 6H, and H dive are all easily burstable. 2K is burst safe and lets you punish with 6H, and close slash jump cancel FD lets you punish with 5H for a good meterless combo. If you have meter, RCing after 6H is good to bait burst since that's the main point you'd be doing Wild Assault. 2S into Wild Assault, then 6H MLA sets up the corner combos like before. From counter hit 2S, going straight into MLA gives the same thing, and you can do a hit stop option select of doing 2S right into 236S or Wild Assault, then immediately do MLA or 236H to get those on counter hit. Do this option select when poking with far slash, 2H, and 5H2. Sometimes after hopping out of H-dive, doing a couple of JPs will pop them up higher, letting HCL work where it may not work from a JS or JH. When far from the corner, ending with MLA into HCL, then a long dash JH can safe jump in meaty. Since 5H has a larger pop-up, after MLA you can air dash JS and continue with a close slash for a better knockdown. But if you're roughly mid-screen or closer, it's better to just combo into dive for the corner combo. The pop-up is big enough that you can even recover from 5H and do a dash JS. This route builds slightly more meter for slightly less damage, but it's generally better to just use an option select. Here's another route if you hit it in the corner. From counter hit 6H, you'll want to combo into MLA like normal, but you need to delay it or you'll whiff, so make sure to practice this. You can cancel the first hit into stroke if you react in time, which works well. From 2H, do the same as you would for most of the other routes, and go into MLA, then H-dive. For counter hit JS, if you already input JD, it leaves you plus enough for a close slash, which easily lets you convert into the corner combo. If you combo into H-dive, JPs can be used to help with the corner carry, but may break the wall early. Instead, JS into HCL gives the better routing. But when you won't reach the corner, dash JH whiff into dash JS safe jumps. Dash JS into 2K6H gives the standard combo, but if you can react in time, try to skip the 2K and go right to the 6H. From counter hit S-stroke, 2K2D works even when spaced. Since it's a stagger, you may or may not be able to combo into dash JS depending if they're mashing or not. But if they don't, then you get the standard combo. Just be careful about autopiloting into H-dive without meter to make you safe. From H-stroke, dash JS will always combo. But 6H MLA can be better, especially mid-screen, so you can get better Oki. Counterhit MLA gives a full charge H-dive and easily converts into the corner combo. For S-dive, fast PRC by whiffing JH and combo into 6H. If you're not comfortable with fast RCing or reacting to them getting hit or blocking, regular RC into close slash double JD is a nice alternative. Or just 6H into MLA. It might be a little awkward with the spacing and the height, but it should work. Dash JD into 6H can help correct the height. The same combo works from S-stroke red RC. Your goals before moving to the advanced guide will be to implement at least some of these new mix-ups into your style, while understanding that many of them come with risks. Have Oki setups down for every common knockdown, have a good understanding of your combo theory and optimizations, and finally start to piece together set play of your own, mixing and matching mix-ups and Oki setups. Thank you for watching.